Certainly a disappointing loss. Proud of our kids for the way they battled back at the end, made some plays, gave us a chance. Again, I suppose depending how you looked at it, we're within a yard or so of winning this football game. And, what we talked about being important going in this game was turnovers. We lost the turnover battle 3-1. Not only did we have just 3 turnovers on paper, but they were certainly very, very critical turnovers. I believe the 2 interceptions in scoring range really gave them, I believe, 10 points. And then obviously the one at the end of the game. But I thought our defense played well in terms of yardage, getting off the field. I think we gave up 220-something yards. I think a little over 100 yards passing, and I think half of that, 50 or so on one play on the touchdown. So, again, it's been a trademark defensively for us to get more than one turnover. We had opportunities. We had tip balls. We had balls on the ground. Didn't get to them. But again, I thought our defense gave us a chance to win. I thought Greg Ward going in at quarterback had a hot hand, so we made the decision to keep him in there. We're getting points with him at quarterback. He was making some plays, not only with his feet, but he was throwing the ball down the field as well. And again, had a chance to win at the end. I thought penalties were it wouldn't appear as though it was something we talked about for the last 12 days, but we had 2 at halftime. We ended up with 11. Some were very, very selfish, some personal fouls, some taunting calls, and uncharacteristic. I think not only of our program, but of the student-athletes in general that had the penalties. But nonetheless, they were the correct call, and we need to learn from them and move on. We got a tough game ahead in Memphis against a very talented Memphis football team that's playing extremely well this season. So we got to learn from our mistakes, come back out in practice and put in a game plan Sunday evening and get ready to go to Memphis next week. Yeah, it's a fine line, and it was definitely the correct call, and it's a fine line because if he doesn't lose the football for another 18 inches, we score a touchdown, we win the football game. Greg's trying to make a play. It's something we practice. It's something we talk about. We've had that happen before. It happened to one of our receivers against East Carolina in 2012, trying to do the same thing, and I can name 20 times where we've had a young man do the same thing, and it's a touchdown. So I certainly don't fault Greg. No one in our program does. He was trying to make a play. That specific play was a pass play. They had good coverage. He tried to make something happen, made a couple defenders miss, and tried to win the game for us.
Do you kind of know if you're going to start Greg or John next week, or is that just kind of like how the game goes and so John, see how the game goes?
We'll see. I don't know yet.
Tony, the decision, though, you mentioned the hot hand. John, again, a couple of interceptions. Can you pinpoint it? Looks like he started so bad and had a couple of good games, and then he reverts to some of the stuff. One of the interceptions looks like it went through finger and hands. But can you put your finger on just what's going on, I guess?
Well, you mentioned one of them. They had the 2 interceptions tonight. One of them to Deontay, the pass was a little bit low. I've seen him catch that in the last 2.5 years 1,000 times, and it goes off his hands, deflected up into the air, and we get one of the interceptions. And on the other one, it was a combination of timing by John and the route by Deontay. So everything works hand in hand, and I thought John came out tonight to compete, if you will, and I thought his competitiveness maybe got the better of him early on with the taunting penalty, which is again, certainly I mentioned a minute ago, uncharacteristic of his character, uncharacteristic of him, and again we've played Greg at quarterback, I think in I want to say 4 games now. I might be wrong, but we went into this game with a plan for him to go in and take some snaps, and then again he gave us felt like the opportunity to score there in the second half, so we made the determination as a staff to leave him in.
So the penalties and the drop balls, you kind of feel it was more that y'all lost it than rather than you won the game?
In some sense, yes.
Greenberry, he kind of struggled. Was he facing any injuries?
He's fine.
Tony, back on John. It looked like there at one point he came to you and lobbied to get back in.
Mm-hmm.
At this point, and not trying to ask who you start next, but are you at least looking at the possibility of opening anything up, or is John still your guy?
I think any position we'll look at the video and make a determination as a staff, offense, defense, special teams. You know, I hadn't coached a game in 20 years where a young man hadn't lobbied to go in a game at any position, and you know, kids by nature are competitors, and we had a lot of young men that probably wanted to play more tonight than they did, and we'll evaluate the film, and I think we make a decision on all personnel in terms of who's going to be starting and who'll be backups going into Memphis probably early in the week.
In terms of momentum, early on, you guys have the ball, first and goal,
Mm-hmm.
the two runs, and then on that fourth down pass, was that the play?
It was. It was.
At that point, we know defensively how good they are against the run. Was that just in your mind, kind of the play and the way you wanted it?
I mean, it was the play we wanted. When you say it was the way we wanted, it didn't end up being the way we wanted it. Yeah, I mean, again, we've seen a lot of 1-yard touchdown fades to Deontay from John O'Corn in the last year or so, and we work on it in practice. We had the matchup and the coverage we wanted, and you know, again, I know you're not asking it like this. It never comes down to that fourth down play. If we can get 2 yards on first down, second down, or third down, we're not having to call a fourth down play. But we felt like, you know, down there with the way our defense had been playing, if rather than taking 3 points, try to be aggressive. You know, we went forward on fourth down early and converted and got us a field goal from that drive. So we wanted to try to be aggressive there. You know, if we can convert, have a chance to go up 10-0 early in the game and get some momentum. And again, if not, we feel like we got them pinned back deep and give our chance for either our defense to get a turnover, or if we hold them, they're going to punt it. We're going to get it back at midfield, a good field position. But ultimately, you know, it's no secret you'd like to score a touchdown on first, second, or third down. And you know, I'm not second guessing our decision to go for it there on fourth, nor the play call.
Seemed like the offensive line maybe kind of started a little bit with even 3-4-man fronts. Was it something they were doing? Was it some miscommunication?
No, I mean, anytime I think we struggled in terms of pass protection, I think a lot of the credit's got to go to Central Florida. I mean, they've got a talented defensive front. They did bring, you know, you mentioned the 3 down, the 4 down, which certainly they had, but they brought pressure at times. And you know, again, I think sometimes we had good protection, and I don't disagree with you. At times it broke down, and I'll look at the film to see exactly why, but they got talented young men up front as well.
Can you talk about Kyle Bullitt also? I know he kind of kept on the game with those long field goals.
Mm-hmm.
Can you talk about what he brought to the game?
Yeah, Kyle's doing a nice job, and he's a kid I don't talk about enough, probably intentionally. But I don't have any hesitation or reservations on sending him into a game. He and I talk before every game on what his distance is going both directions based on the wind. I thought our field goal protection so far this season's been outstanding, and Kyle's got a lot of confidence right now. And you know, a couple times we made some poor decisions when we were in better field goal range on third down, taking a sack and losing yards and making it difficult. But based on where the ball was, we were still in his range and didn't hesitate to send him out there, and protection was good. And again, he's a confident young man right now kicking field goals.
I know you're not sitting there charting them, but just from what you see, did you feel like there were more drops than usual tonight?
I did, and you know, they're all, I was going to say there were some key drops. They're all key. And I think, I'm afraid when we look at the video, there's going to be in the 6 or 7 or 8 range. And there were some when our quarterback was scrambling, trying to make a play. The coverage came off and left receivers, and we would dish the ball out there and give us a chance to at least get some positive yards and get us into second and medium or possibly break a tackle. We dropped some of those balls. I think, you know, Deontay had a couple that were uncharacteristic of him. Again, came back and made some good catches at the end of the game. And you know, on the flip side, we had some plays where our quarterback scrambled and we did throw the ball downfield and, you know, gave us a chance. But I guess going back to your question, I think we were going to look at the film and see we left probably 6 to 8 balls that could have been caught drop.
I know those drops of offensive line, it was like when it wasn't all quarterbacks that kind of make it kind of tough to evaluate, you know, that position, I guess, the entire offense.
No, not. I wouldn't say it makes it tough. I mean, you're going to, you know, evaluate all positions. There's 11 young men out there, and you know, I wouldn't say it's hard to evaluate receiver positions if, you know, if we didn't throw it as much. You know what I mean? If we didn't throw it to certain individuals much. So we'll evaluate all positions, and regardless of how teammates around them played.